One of my family's favorite things for me to make is dinner rolls. Believe it or not, you would think they would like the ooey gooey cinnamon rolls and the donuts and all the other things that you can make out of dough, but they really like dinner rolls. Something about just a little small package makes them perfect for snacking, and they just tell me over and over again they think they taste better. I don't know what it is, but that's what they like. So I'm going to show you how to make a few different types of dinner rolls in this lesson, and we're going to start with crescent rolls. Now these are not croissants because that's a totally different type of dough, but we're going to make them in the shape of or in the style of croissants or crescent rolls. So to start, I've got a beautiful piece of bread dough here. This is my whole wheat oatmeal bread that I like to make for almost everything, but instead of using the rolled oats, this time I used oat flour, which makes the dough a little bit smoother and softer. So I'm going to start by just rolling this out into a 15-inch circle. That is the size that I found makes just the right thickness for this amount of dough for your crescent rolls. Okay, once you have this rolled out into a nice circle, you'll take some melted butter and brush all over the dough. And if you wanted to, you could even flavor this butter with some minced garlic. For something very savory, you could have garlic crescent rolls, or you could make a really yummy treat for breakfast and take some freshly grated orange zest and add that to your melted butter and stir it around and then brush it on, and that would be delicious. Okay, now you want to take a pizza cutter and cut this into about 12 portions. If you don't have a pizza cutter, of course you can use a knife. This makes it go really fast. Okay. And now we'll just take and from the widest edge, roll forward toward the point. Okay, and then as you place these on the sheet, kind of curve them in toward the middle like this so they make a little bit of a rounder shape. And here's what they look like when they're all ready to go. You can brush them again with some more melted butter if you like. Now if you wanted to, as soon as these are formed, you could take this tray and put it into your freezer and leave it open like this without it being covered up. And you could freeze these before they begin to rise. Set yourself a timer so you don't forget they're in there. We don't want them to get too dried out. But after 30 minutes to an hour, really kind of depends on how large they are, you will open your freezer and see if they are firm to the touch. As soon as they're firm enough to the touch that they're going to hold their shape, you will take them out off of the pan, and then you can put them into a bag like this, and because they're all individually frozen, you can put them all in there and they won't lose their shape. Then you can also, when you're ready to bake them, take them out and just as many as you need at a time. So if you're a single or a couple and you'd like to have fresh dinner rolls, you can just take out 2 or 3 or 4, however many you need at a time, and you'll be able to have fresh dinner rolls whenever you like it. This is also something fabulous to do before the holidays or before any family gathering or party, is to just go ahead and pre-form your rolls and freeze them right before they rise. Now when they come out, they're very hard and solid. You'll need to put them on a prepared pan, and the amount of time that it takes for them to come up to room temperature, to thaw out, come up to room temperature and then rise really depends on the size that they are and the environment, the temperature of your room. So it may take several hours for that to happen, but once they have thawed and they look puffy and risen, then you can go ahead and bake them as usual. Now let's look at some other dinner roll shapes. The first one would be for making just regular pan rolls. Now I've taken my 1 loaf portion and cut it into 8s. You could also cut it into 12s or 16s depending on the size that you want. I tend to like to make them a little bit larger because it takes less time. If I have fewer of them to make, I can also fit more of them on a pan, more of them in the oven. So you know me, I'm all about fast and efficiency. So to make the pan roll, you'll just pull it out from the center like we've done before for the hamburger buns and the bread bowls. For the remaining shapes I'm going to show you, we're going to start each one of them with a long rope. So just think back to your preschool days, your kindergarten days, and make a nice long rope or a snake. So I usually make it about the same length as the width of my hands when they're spread out like that. Okay, now the first shape we're going to make is just a little knot, and I think these are really cute. And when they puff up, they look really nice. For this next one, we're going to just take each of the ends and roll them or kind of coil them in both toward the center at the same time. And sometimes that's called a butterfly roll. This next one, we're also going to coil in from each side, but this time we're going to go in opposite directions. And then it's going to look sort of like the letter S, like that. Okay, this next one is probably my very favorite of all. It's where you start with a knot like we did before, but then you're going to do something with the 2 extra little tails. The one that's coming through on the top, you want to take and kind of leave that space open there. Take and tuck it underneath and bring it up through the bottom a little bit, and the one that was on the bottom, take it and put it down in through the middle, through the top. So you have sort of like a little rosette here. This also, if you make it nice and big, will look like a Kaiser hamburger bun. So I like to do that too. I'll show you that one more time. Okay, start with the knot. Take the one that's on top, put it underneath on the bottom. Take the one that's on the bottom and put it down in through the top. Okay, there's your little rosette. And finally, you could just make one long breadstick, brush it with some garlic butter and sprinkle it with some herbs. You could let your kids make letters and make words or their names. Another one I like to do is just a simple twist. Okay, so there's what they look like. We need to let these rise. After they've risen, you can glaze them with an egg wash, 1 beaten egg added with a little bit of water, brush that over the tops, sprinkle with seeds or herbs if you like, and let them bake. Well, here's our finished rolls. Here's our plate of crescent rolls. You can see once in a while the little tips like to come out from underneath them and poke their way up, but that's all right. They still taste delicious. And here's some of our other shapes, our pretty S shape and our little butterfly roll in the knot. And these baked for about 20 minutes in the 350 oven, and I did glaze them with an egg wash. You could sprinkle them with seeds or decorate them however you like. But I hope you'll enjoy making dinner rolls for your family. And now I know a couple of hungry boys who can't wait to devour these.